Good morning, everybody. My name is Akondiola Kome Joshua, and I'm going to be our course instructor for this morning's morning market review. Firstly, I hope this week has actually been a beautiful week. One interesting thing about that I discovered about this week is, irrespective of the whole trade war going on between the US economy and other strong economy, the market has actually been moving in its own way. And I hope we all have been able to pick one or two opportunities in the movement of the market and made some little profits for ourselves, right? We all know the drill, the way it is. From my own end, okay, first thing first, let me acknowledge us. Okay, so I can see Amakalu, I can see Angel, I can see Chinedu, I can see Ayo, I can see Epensky, I can see Ecolanos ODJ, I can see Infinix X6516, I can see ITEL A665L. Please, for those that have their names as their phone brand or their brand, the phone they are using, please kindly change it to your real name so we'll be able to see your name and acknowledge you too. I can see James Otegbayo. I can see Jide Lawson, Johnson Olujuigbe. I can see Kalu. I can see King's Cream. I can see Idam Julius Japo. I can see Ojela B. Sunday. I can see Olaitan Lajide. I can see Olufo Bamishi. I can see Ruth Akuma, Sanari Oteje. I can see Sonny. I can also see okay, Soyemi Adeleke. I can see Uchechukwu Nweke. I can see William Aja. All right. Now, if I didn't call your name, please do not pick offense. Maybe you're just joining, you understand? And maybe I've scrolled past their own name. That's why I'm unable to see your name or unable to call your name. But kindly know that yes, as far as you've joined us for this morning's market review, I acknowledge you, whether I call your name or not. Everybody is highly, highly welcome. Okay? All right. So with that being said, we're going to be looking at what happened in the market yesterday based on fundamentals. We'll look at what happened based on fundamentals yesterday. Then we'll go into the market technically and see what is going to be then before we now start analyzing and envisaging how it's going to be today. You understand? We look at all those and begin to try and envisage what we think is going to happen. Okay? So, but first thing first, if you're able to hear me from your side loud and clear, please kindly go to the chat section and put it down there loud and clear, loud and clear. If you're able to hear me from your own end, kindly go to the chat section and type it down loud and clear. So I will know that, yes, we're on the same point, we're on the same page, you understand? So I'm waiting for us, please, and please, let's do that. You're able to hear me from your own end, so I'll know that, yes, we are together in this ride and we're ready to fly, we're ready to take off. I'm waiting for our response, please. I'm waiting for our response, please. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I can hear you from my own end.
All right, I can, okay. Mr. Spensky wrote very loud and clear, good morning, yes. Ecolano ODJ said loud and clear, very good. Thank you very much for doing that. I say thank you very much because, okay, it means from my own end, there's no issue, you understand? So if you're unable to hear me loud and clear from your end, it means you need to change your location. So your network will, maybe it's not stable where you are. Okay, Angel is saying loud and clear. Okay. And she also says some people say, all right, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate your response. Thank you very much. So not from my own end now, it's time to kick off for this morning's market review. So yes, let's take off. So first thing first, let's look at what happened fundamentally in the market. We look at the chart and see what happened fundamentally. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now, so we'll see what happened yesterday. Okay. So yes, I believe we all can see my screen. Yes, we all can see my screen. As of yesterday now, we had some vital information being released. We had some vital information being released yesterday. So As of yesterday, 2:30 a.m., news came out on the Chinese yuan, that's the CPI year to year and the PPI year to year. It came out negative for them. So it means, yes, the information that came out on CNY was not good, but interestingly, we do not have the CNY on our own platform, you understand? But away from that, we had AUD, that's the governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia, you understand, Governor Bullock. He spoke yesterday. Now, after that, that's around 11 a.m. After that, by 1:30 p.m., we also had the core CPI month-to-month, CPI month-to-month, and the CPI year-to-year, together with the unemployment claim being released. Now, this is a very volatile news, and it came out negative for the USD. It means it was bad for them and the whole thing dropped. So, and interestingly, if you had seen that market yesterday, let's take for instance, for instrument like USD JPY, you would have discovered that yes, USD was actually weak because the market sold massively yesterday. It was more of a massive sell on USD, which means USD actually dropped in terms of strength. It was so weak, the market went down. Then by a minute after 6, we had the 30Y bond auction, and it came out almost like, well, this came out black, and we all know, we say when you see it as black, it means neutral. This was just the news that came out for yesterday. And also, when you see 30Y bond auction, that has to do with more of stocks and more of stocks and indices. You understand? Although there could be an instrument on it depending on the platform. You could see 10Y bond and likes like that. But yes, 30Y bond auction has to do with stocks anyway. So generally yesterday, the USD was weak. And so if you look at the chart, you discover that yes, it affected the chart. And that was why when the news came out, we had a lot of instruments that reacted to it. You understand? Instruments that were paired with dollars in this market reacted to it. There was a massive drop on the USD yesterday. In fact, let's look at it. Let me show something on the currency strength meter. As of yesterday on currency strength meter, you understand? You discover that the strength of dollars was at its lowest. It was at its lowest yesterday. Now, this trend that I'm speaking is just this morning. As of yesterday, JPY was full. It was so strong. That was why USD JPY was actually selling. It sold massively yesterday. More also, most of the instruments that were paired with USD sold massively yesterday. But today we are seeing another different thing. Yes, it's a new day. So we're beginning to see that yes, CHF is dropping in strength. As of now, okay, let me refresh so that we'll know that yes, we're on the right page. Okay, so CHF is gaining strength currently. CAD is dropping in strength. GBP is dropping in strength. The same USD now, as we can all see, is also dropping in strength. You understand? You can see the red arrow indicating on it that yes, currently USD is not strong. It's still dropping in terms of strength. So, and by the time you look at your chart, you also see a reaction on that. By the time we look at the chart, we'll see reactions on that. Currently, if you look at USD JPY, on your chart now, you see that yes, I should expect it to drop. Why? Because USD is dropping strength. You understand? But let's move on. Let's go back to our forexfactory.com. As of today, we're going to be having some interesting news coming out. You understand? That's on fundamentals. As of this morning, we have a news that came out on GDP month to month. You understand? And it came out positive for GDP. The news came out positive for GDP. You understand? And because it came out positive for GDP, we should expect a reaction on GDP. Now, after that, we are having a news coming out on CNY. That's new news, and he said tentative. It could be released anytime, but we are not bothered about that particular instrument because we don't have it on our platform. Then the main man for the day is by 1:30. That's where we have the core PPI month to month and the PPI month to month. This news is going to move the market in its own way too. You understand? We already know that this is a strong volatile news. You understand? And by 3 p.m., we also have the prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment and the prelim University of Michigan inflation expectations. You understand? These are instruments that, yes, we know could move the market in its own way. You understand? So, okay. So what are we expecting? Are we expecting the market to buy or to sell? We're going to be looking at the market technically now and see what is going to be happening. All right. Hello. I'm sorry for that. I feel there was a network glitch around that point, but yes. Okay, I'm back. That's nice. Okay, let's move on and see what is going to happen in the market technically. Hopefully, we're able to see some opportunities and tell us what we feel might happen in this particular market. Let's move on now. We already know the news coming out and at what time. You understand? All right. Okay, so let's see the next thing. Let's move on. Now I'm going to be sharing my market, the charts for us to see. So I'm here with us. I'm still with us, please. Okay, so we all know the drill now when it comes to technicals. We start with currencies first, then after that we move to commodities. From commodities we move to indices, and from indices then we now start looking at how give us the opportunity to ask our own questions and instruments you want us to look at and see one or two things about, then we speak on that. You understand? So first thing first, I'll be starting my technicals with Euro USD, and we'll try to envisage and see what we feel. Do we feel the market is going to buy or sell depending on the position we're seeing the market? So currently now on Euro USD, just as we are seeing, okay, so let's move to our higher time frame and see what we're looking at on the market. On the higher time frame, we discover that the market has actually gone to a particular high. So around where the market price is now, currently, this is on my D1. So let's zoom out and see. You know that yes, the market has gotten to a resistance around this point. There's a resistance around this point. So what are we expecting? Are we expecting the market price to break it or wait? So before you go for any buy, that's what I'll say, based on what we're seeing on daily time frame now, before you go for any buy, wait for the market price to break above that section, because price has gone up for a while now, you understand? So there could be a little pullback, then a reversal back up. And based on what we're seeing now, you can see it now. This is even on my 1 hour time frame now. You discover that yes, price has gotten to that point, reversed back down, pulled back a little, and now as of this morning is trying to gain some strength. And yes, we all know as of now, dollars is currently weak, and maybe because the strength of dollars is down, we could have a push up on Euro USD, but nobody can be fully sure on that. You understand? We can't be 100% sure that this is what it's going to do. So for us to be sure about that, let's wait for price to go above this point. But around this same point too, we could also have price selling. If it's able to break below this particular section that I've marked out for us, if price is able to break below this particular section on the 1 hour time frame, then we could expect a sell on Euro USD. But if that is not the case, if price should go up and break above this particular section that has been marked out, okay, let me shade it out so we can see it. Okay, if price is able to break above this particular section successfully now, yes, we could have price buying on Euro USD. And if that does not happen, even around this point, you understand, if it decides to go down back to this point and it breaks below this particular section successfully, then we could have price going down. But yeah, it's based on my own bias. I'm expecting Euro USD to go up. That's on my own personal opinion. I'm expecting it to go up because one of the things we've seen is due to the trade war that has been going on for a while now, it has actually affected the strength of dollars, and dollars has been weak, and all other instruments, currencies have been picking up strength. So yes, am I expecting the price of dollars to go down? Yes. Euros to go up? Yes, I'm expecting it like that. That's my own bias. But if we're looking at it technically, based on what has been happening, we've been seeing price reversing back up. You understand? So on Euro USD, I'll still stand my ground that price should go up. That's that on Euro USD. All right, so we'll look at another instrument. Now let's look at USD card. Let's look to USD card and see what USD card. Okay, I'm with us. Still with us. I'm with us. Okay. Okay, USD card. I'm on USD card now. I'm with us now. Okay, so on USD card, we also discovered that price has actually dropped. In fact, let's look at it based on what we're seeing here. Look at it. As of yesterday, it dropped massively all through yesterday. See, yesterday, day before yesterday, there's been a bearish movement. It's just been going down, 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 down. And now it has gotten to this particular support here. And this support now is what is trying to reverse, push back price to the upside. Now, are we going to wait for it? Yes, we need to wait. You know, in technicals, I've always said it times without number that, yes, in technicals, you need to wait. Patience is the key. Patience is what is the key. So we need to wait for price to meet our own requirement first. And what's our requirement? Let it break below this particular point that has been shaded out. That's the support. If it's able to break below it successfully, then we should expect the price to keep on selling. But if that is not the case, if we have another reversal movement, there could be a pushback to the upside based on what is expected here. And if that price should push back, then we're expecting price to what? To move up. We're expecting price to move up. You understand? So like I said, this is USD card. And if you're able to look at my chart from your screen very well, you can see that is on 1 hour time frame. You understand? And if you look at it even from the daily time frame, you discover that price has been dropping for a while. Yes, this is it. Price is dropping for a while. And where price is currently is a zone. This is a support. You can see it, it's a support. So if price is able to break below these points now, yes, we should expect a continuation on that bearish movement. You understand? If price is able to break below that point, we should expect a continuation on the bearish movement. Except if price is unable to break below it, that's where we could have issues. But once price is able to break below that point, then there could be a continuation on that bearish move. You understand? So yes, I'm waiting for that. Let's wait for price to break below these points. You understand? Once price breaks below this point, then we could have that interesting bearish move. Then we could go for that move on USD card. All right. Okay, so let's look at another instrument. Let's look at USD CHF. USD CHF. Just USD CHF. After which we look at USD JPY. USD CHF, then we look at USD JPY. We just. So this is it. Just like I said, if you look at this price now, you discover that USD has actually been weak for a very long time. It's been weak for a very long time. Yes, is it that? Yes, it's been weak even before the trade war started, like a client is trying to point out here, which we all know. But yes, the strength now in dropping actually got propelled because of the trade wars. You understand? Disagreement between the strong economies. This now has actually pushed the strength of dollar down. And that's what we are seeing now. If you look at USD CHF, another instrument where USD is based, you discover that it's been dropping massively. Look at USD CHF now, it's dropping massively. It's also dropping. But as of now, I won't advise us to rush into this market. You understand? Wait for it to break below this particular section. Once it breaks below this particular section, you can go for yourself. This is on my 1 hour time frame. Once it breaks below this section successfully, you can go for yourself. But if that does not happen, please wait. Please wait, just like I'm saying. It's a strong zone. This point is a strong zone. You understand? So wait for it to break below it successfully. If it breaks below it successfully, whoa, good and fine. You're going to be making some good proceeds on this market. The price has been dropping and is dropping massively. And yes, okay, just let's look at something. Let's go to, let me try and share the currency strength meter again. Let's see what is happening. You see the reaction we are seeing now. Okay, I'm refreshing it. And even on refreshing the page, can you see it's still showing that the strength of dollars is dropping? Look at it. Formerly on the meter, it was around 30%. Now it has dropped to 20%. JPY is picking up strength. CHF is picking up strength. And that's why we're seeing that reaction. And I won't be surprised if we look at instruments like Euro USD also, you discover that Euro USD is also going up, you understand, in terms of strength. Why? Because the USD is weak. That's just what we are seeing. That's what the currency strength meter is saying. Although the currency strength meter cannot be used to determine whether the market is going to buy or sell, you understand? But it's only giving a reaction of what is happening on that particular currency, you understand? So That's that. For all that would like to have this, just go to currencystrengthmeter.org and you see the instrument there. You understand? Okay, so let's go back to the chart and see. So on USD CHF, I will advise us to wait for the market price to break below that zone before we go. And if you break below it successfully, then we can go for that price. You understand? We can go for that. Thank you. Then we go to USD JPY. And we just
Hello, sir. You've gone mute. I don't know if it's network challenge, but I can't get you again.
Oh, sorry, it's due to network. I'm just trying to rearrange, you understand? It's network, and currently where I am is a little bit, the weather is currently funny where I am. So, but yes, everything is fine now. I feel that everything will be okay. But I believe you can hear me now from your end. Okay?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. All right, so we go again. USD JPY. USD JPY. All right. I'm going to USD JPY now. Okay. USD JPY on USD JPY. Now, if you look at USD JPY, just look at it. The market is also what? Dropping. In fact, look at that candle. Candle zero is so strong. Look at how bearish it is. How bearish it has moved. Well, based on my bias, I will say yes, I'm still expecting price to drop. Even with what we're seeing on the currency strength meter that dollars is weak, I'm still expecting price to what? To drop. You understand? But before we go for that sell, please kindly wait for it to break below this part. You understand? Kindly wait for it to break below this part. Once it's able to break below this part, then we should expect the market price to what? To drop. But if that does not happen, no, hold on. This is on my 1 hour time frame. This is on 4 hours time frame, as we can see. I'm zooming out for us to see. You discover that price is currently on a support. Look at the first support. There's another support again. This is on daily time frame. This is another support here. You understand? On the daily time frame. But even if you are to go for this sell, hold on for it to break below this first one. Hold on for it to break below this first one. You understand? If it's able to break below this first one, then you can go for your sell again. You understand? But if that does not happen, please, let's wait. You can see it. Price is still going down. Price is still going down. I'm expecting the price, in fact, based on my bias, the way I'll put it, I'm expecting the price to drop, but I'll just advise we wait and see, just like the way I've said, we wait for this price to break below this particular point. As far as it's still within this point that is shaded, that is a zone for us. So we are meant to what? Wait. If it does not fulfill our own requirements, don't go for it. If it doesn't meet your requirements, don't go for it. But from everything I'm saying, from all indications on USD JPY, is more of what? A downward fall. In fact, look at it. Very interesting. It got to that support, a pullback, then a massive drop. Now the same thing it did here. In fact, okay, let's look at it. When price was dropping, it dropped to around this point. Then after this point, a little ranging, pulling back up, dropped again. Then after that, as it got to this particular resistance zone here, this is on my 1 hour time frame. See, it dropped below, it broke it. Then there was a reversal back to the upside, pushed back. Now, since then, it has dropped down. Look at it again. As of this morning, it got to this particular support zone. A little pullback, a minor pullback up. Now again, price is dropping. So if you want to go for yourself, wait for it to break below this part. If it's able to break below it successfully, then we can go for that our sell. You understand? We can go for our sell. Let's wait for it to break below it successfully. If it breaks and closes below it, like around from 9 o'clock, you understand? Because this is a 1 hour candle. If it's able to break below it by 9 o'clock successfully, then we can go for that sell. But if that does not happen, please wait. Do not rush. You understand? Do not rush. This market is more or less an interesting market and it's been moving massively. Okay, let's move to the next instrument, which is GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay, I'm with you. Let's go. GBP USD. I'm with us. Okay. My baby. Yeah, that's the name I'm saying, please. So nobody should pick any offense or read any meaning to it. The name I'm saying here is my baby. You said, how can you confirm it was broken successfully, sir? All right, if you want to know if a zone is broken successfully, which is, well, let's go back to the USD/JPY so you can see it. Look at it here. You see, the zones have been marked out. It's been marked out. How do you know it's broken? For it to go down and close below, look at it here. At a point, all these ones, they got to this particular point and they got rejected. The zones are known as rejection zones. But look at it, around this point, it closed below it. Now it means that zone was broken. It pushed down into then a reversal back into that same zone again. It got to this point, it got rejected. Now when it came back, it broke it here, and since then it's been going down. So the same thing it is. If this candle zero that is forming now goes below this particular section now, and it closes below this section, it means that zone has been broken. I want to believe you understand that, my baby. You understand? Okay, so let's move to the next. Okay. Ayo, you're saying, please, sir, these droppings of US dollar, when will it end? Because I am in buying position, still holding. Okay. Ayo, as it is now, this is what I will say. Nobody knows when the market is going to go back up. The same way we are envisaging. We are just envisaging. It's more or less like a forecast. We are envisaging that, yes, the market is going to drop, it's going to drop, it's going to drop. You understand? All right? We're expecting it to drop or to buy. But before you can fulfill some of these requirements, we must wait and see what is happening. Now, currently, price is on a support. How do you know it's going to sell or it's going to buy? If price is unable to break this zone, technically, we are expecting it to push back up. But if it breaks below the zone, then continuation. Now, some of the things that I feel based on my own bias that could affect the market to help the market in being stable is if the whole trade war is going to stop. Like, for instance, now, the latest information we are getting from the president of US, who is a person of President Donald Trump, he said he's going to pause the tariff he has placed on some of the countries that did not retaliate. But for those that has retaliated, he has increased the tariff. He's going to push further. You understand? He's pushing hard. And you see, the real truth is this. There's going to be response. For me, I just feel it's more or less like a political move. You understand? It's a political move which is affecting the market. Look at what he's doing now. He's saying for those that did not retaliate, he's not increasing the tariff and he's going to pause. There's going to be a pause on them. But for those that have retaliated, he has increased the tariff on them. So all these things are part of the things. Once the trade wars begins to happen like that, one of the things you need to know is this. Some of those other economists will look at it like, oh man, who has made you our head? You are not our head. You can't tell us what to do. The same way you are the president of the country, you are also the president of the country. You see, that's where trade wars begins to happen and the likes. And all those things begins to affect the market because there won't be good communication in terms of business between these two bodies, you understand? So all these things are part of things that can affect the market. So currently, I don't know when the market is going to push back up, and I don't know when it's going to stop the bearish movement. We are only envisaging and hoping it's going to be one way or the other. If we placed buy, the market should move in our direction. You understand? Okay, so let's move on to the next instrument, GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay, let's go to GBP USD. All right, I'm with us. Now on GBP USD, you can also see the market price is moving up. And currently where the market price is also a support on its, is a resistance on its own. And if you look at it, price has been reversing back to the upside. All we just need is for price to break above this section. If price is able to break above this section, good and fine. Are we together? If price is able to break above this section, good and fine. You see a bullish movement on it. But before you go for that bullish movement, wait for price to break above it successfully. Wait for price to break above it successfully. If price is able to break above it successfully, then you will have that bullish move. You will have that bullish move. But if price is unable to break above it, then you begin to have issues around that point. You understand? You begin to have issues around that point. So the main thing here is this on this particular instrument is what? Wait. You know, one of the things we need to understand is this: due to the way the market is moving now, if you're trading technically, one of the things you must understand is you must be patient. You must be what? Patient. Because we know that, yes, the same way it can move and give you a lot of profit is the same way it can take it away from you if you take the wrong step. So the main thing is be patient enough and be sure. And how do you do that? Let it meet your requirements. Now, price is at a resistance. Is this the best time to buy? No. Wait for it to break above successfully. Once it breaks above that zone successfully, then you can move with it. But if it doesn't, you wait. And the truth is, it will tell you that the trend is your friend. You understand? Don't ever trade against the trend. You trade against the trend, that's when you begin to have issues. You see the market price going against you and you begin to lose so much. All right. So let's look at the last instrument on currency. Let's look at one more instrument on currencies. Then we move to commodity. So let's look at one more instrument on currencies. Okay. And we just okay, so coming, I'm still with us. So we're looking at CHF JPY. Let's look at CHF JPY. CHF JPY. Let's look at that. All right. So looking at CHF JPY now, we discover that price actually got to this particular section, this zone here. After that, price has pulled back, and as of this morning, price is trying to push back to the upside again. You understand, on CHF JPY. So what we need to do is wait for price to break above that point before we go for buy, or wait for it to reverse back and break below this point. If that happens, then we should expect the price to drop. You understand? So this is it on these 2 points. Wait for price here. If it's able to break above this part successfully, then you can go for your buy. But if that is not the case, there could be a reversal back to the downside. And if it breaks below this part successfully, we could go for that sell. Or, funny enough, price can actually move between these 2 points. You understand? Between these 2 zones. Can just get here, get rejected, come back to this point, get rejected, till it's going to break on one side. Okay? That could happen in this market. Okay, so let's go to gold now. Let's go to gold. Let's go to gold. All right, we're on gold now. Now, this is gold. Like we all know, gold is an economic instrument, and yes, it's been reacting to the whole thing that has been happening. One of the reasons why gold has actually been pushing up now has been because dollars is weak. And like we all know, it has an inverse reaction to dollars. Yes. So the mere fact that dollars is weak has actually been pushing the price of gold up. I, for one, I've been saying it before now that yes, I was expecting it to get to 3,000. It got to 3,000 and I told us, I said, based on what we're seeing now, I'm expecting the price of gold to get to what? 3,500. You understand? That's my own bias on it anyway. But based on what we're seeing, I won't advise us to just go on a trade now, whether you should buy or sell. You understand? So let's just hold on and look at what is happening based on what we're seeing in the economy. These are part of the things that could actually affect the price of gold. You understand? So based on what we're seeing here, are we waiting for price? We're expecting price to what? Break above this section. If it's able to break above it successfully, then we could have that continuation in the buy side, you understand? It could continue buying. But if that does not happen, we could have a reversal back to the downside, you understand? So one of the things I'll just say is, let's hold on and see what price of gold wants to do in this section first before we place a trade. That's that on gold. Gold, we all know, it reacts more to economic issues. Then let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. I'm with us. All right, so we are on oil now. We are on oil now. We discovered that price of oil actually dropped for a while. It's been dropping. Then it got to this particular section, this particular zone, this support zone. This is it. And when it got to that point, it got rejected. You understand? Pushed back to the upside, got back to the same section where price ranged at first. You understand? And the same thing here now, price is having issues around this point. Now look at it. Around this is point. Let's put it from here, point 1. And this is another point here. You understand? So because price is having issues around these points, let's wait and see what price wants to do. You understand? You know, the economy is a little bit funny in terms of oil now. Production of oil, some economies want, or will I put it like this? Should I put it like this? Yes, we know that, yes, for all these business, they have some strong powers that can actually push the market up or down, you understand, in their own way. And when I mean push it up or down, just influence it, you understand? But the market will still move in its own direction, you understand? One man cannot hold the whole world to ransom. But basically, based on where it is now, if it's pushing up, we're expecting it to get to this particular section where the zone is, which is the resistance zone, and if it's unable to break above it, like close above it, then we expect it to drive back down, you understand? So based on where it is now, kindly advise us to wait for it first, to let it give you a definite direction of where it wants to go before you follow the move, you understand? Based on what we're seeing. Well, this is on my 1 hour time frame, you understand? And if we look at it on even the daily time frame, we discover that price actually dropped for a while before it reversed back up, you understand? So what we need to do is to wait, because where price is staying now is more or less like it's hanging in between. It's not giving us a definite move, you understand? So for that reason, we are meant to what? Wait. Let's wait for it to give us a definite direction, then we follow. Yes. All right, so we'll go to indices now. Let's move to indices. We'll look at US 30, then we'll move to US 100, then US 500, after which we now go to US 2000. I'm with us. So, like I said, we're starting with US 30. So, yes, basically, if you look at it, we know that for now, due to all the whole trade wars and everything, stocks has also been dropping in terms of strength. It's been dropping in terms of strength, except for yesterday that, yes, one way or the other, the market pushed up yesterday. No, dropped day before yesterday. I mean, market pushed up. Then, yes, as of yesterday, it came back down. And this morning, too, is still having the whole same, started like bullish as if it's going up. But we're seeing some bearish candles here on the candle 1 and even the candle 0. But nobody knows how it's going to close. It could still go back up. But basically, due to the whole trade wars that is happening, you discover that price of stocks has actually dropped for a while. You understand? It has dropped and dropped and dropped. So are we still expecting that dropping in price? It depends on what happens in the trade and the market, the kind of war between them in the market. If they're able to stop the whole thing, yes, maybe. But generally, we all know that stocks actually, we expect it to push up in price to appreciate. But let's see what is going to happen technically here now. So technically, if we were to look at it, okay, based on, let me make it tight. We say this is 1 point and this is another point for price. And you can see price is in between this particular section. So is price going up or it's coming down? Now, for price to go up from this point, it has to break above this particular section. That's in between this point. Price has to break above this point. If price is able to break above this point successfully, then we expect it to get to this point. And if it breaks above this point, then we could go for that bullish move. But if that is not the case, if price should get to this point and reverse back, it will come back to this point and continue a bearish movement if it breaks below that point. You understand? That's that on US 30. That's that on US 30. Basically, based on what we're saying. Okay, so let's move to US 100. Let's see what is happening on US 100. Let's see what is happening on US 100. Okay, on US 100 now. Now, US 100, we discovered that it's giving us the same move. It's giving us the same move on US 30. You understand? Just like I've said, German stocks, I said German stocks, sorry. US stocks, everything has been dropping. All of them is being affected. The market has just been dropping. It's not really been moving the way it's been expected to move, like be going up. It's been dropping. And if you look at it, some of this movement back to the upside is as a result of news. You understand? It's as a result of news. Apart from that, nothing else. You understand? Apart from that, nothing else. So on this particular market too, like just like I said on US 30, we need to wait for price to give us a definite direction before we take that move. We need to wait for price to give us that definite direction before we take that move. If it's not giving us that definite direction, we need to wait. You understand? And please kindly note, if you do not have a good sum in your account, do not trade on indices because it's very, very volatile. You can still trade on currencies. You understand? We have a lot of instruments you can trade on. Currencies are there. Even in commodities, we have other ones that you can trade there. Oil is there. Wheat is there, corn is there, all of those other instruments. But yes, some of the things that affects them, like we all know, when it comes to commodities, are what economic issues. So we just need to know how to look out for these instruments, to look for the market, look out for information on them. Then based on what you're now saying on support and resistance, that's demand and supply zones. Okay, so US 500, is it still giving us the same move? Yes. Now, one of the interesting things is this. You see, US 30, US 100, US 500, US 2000. These are all US instruments. They are all stocks in the US. So I'm not surprised that they are giving us this same move. I'm not surprised that all of them are giving us the same move. And I just feel it's as a result of what is going on. On a normal day, we might not see this move, but due to what is happening now, it means none of them is exempted from the whole move. They are all affected by the move of what is happening in the market. They are all affected by what is happening. That's why we're seeing this. And I'm sure if we go to US 2002, which I am on, we'll see the same thing. The same thing. That's the same move that is given to us. So based on what we're seeing now, I'll just say our advisors, based on the two zones that we've seen from the US 30, I believe we can also mark it out on our own screen. So you see, part of it is just hold on for it to give you a good direction before you follow. If it does not give you that good direction, kindly wait. Kindly wait. That's the main deal there. You have to wait. Okay, so I'm going to be giving us the opportunities to drop our own questions now on the chat, and I'll look at all the previous questions on chat, then try to respond to that now. Okay, and with us. Okay, coming. Okay, I'm with us. Okay, Jonathan, you're saying, good morning, Mr. Joshua, US 100, please. Yeah, we've done US 100. Angel is talking about time frame. Yes. Okay, so one of the things you need to understand is this, Angel. For time frame, you see, basically, most of us that take this money market review, we see us talk more of the H1. Now, H1 is more or less like the middle point for long, higher time frame and lower time frame. You understand? But if you want to see the main direction of the market, you go to your higher time frame. The higher time frame helps you to see the direction of the market, to know the direction, whether it's going up or it's coming down. You understand? But if we do it on 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame is more or less like the median move, the middle point. You understand? In between the long time and the short time. So from that point, you can just do your analysis and pick your little trade and see what is going to happen. Is going to go far or not? You understand? That can also help you on that market too. So that's why you're saying that, okay, fine, I'm doing my analysis on 1 hour. But yes, if I actually want to see the direction of the market, I go to my higher time frame. Okay, so I believe I've answered that. All right, so let's move on.
Hello, sir. Mr.
Kindly
Joshua.
drop it on the chat, please. Kindly drop it on the chat, please.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Don't worry, I could give us the opportunity, but for now, because I'm reading what is on the chat, you understand, I don't want us to I don't want to get disconnected. But once I'm done, I could also give you the opportunity to speak on the voice. You understand? Okay. Okay. All right. Adeyemi Olalekan, you're saying we should look at wheat. Okay. So I'll go to wheat. I'll look at wheat. Let's look at wheat. Let's see what is happening on wheat. All right. Now you see, just like we all know, wheat is an economic instrument, you understand? It's commodity, you understand? It's an economic instrument. And most of the time, we do not even know some of the things that affects the price of wheat to either go up or come down. Now, when we are being asked, who is the large producer of wheat and this and that, most of us will only say Ukraine. But the truth is this, it's not just Ukraine that produces wheat alone. We have Australia too. Australia produces wheat in large quantity. We also have countries like Canada too producing wheat. And currently we have an African nation too that is already doing that. In name of Burkina Faso, they are already producing wheat too. And in fact, they've already started the exportation too. And you see, all these things are part of things that will affect the market. Now, if you do not get information about all these things, you will not know that it is affecting the market. So it's when you get this information that you know that, oh, these are part of the reasons why these things are moving this way or why it's going like this. You understand? And based on what we are seeing now on wheat, price of wheat is close to this supply zone. So we need to be very, very careful about entering a buy. Wait for it to break above it, even if you want to go for that buy, because price could get to that point and get this. Okay, so sorry for that. We got disconnected. The network glitched, and I want to believe you can hear me now clearly. I'm sharing my screen again. Okay, so yes. Okay, so based on what we're seeing now, if price is able to break above this particular session on our 1 hour time frame successfully, then we could expect price to buy. But if that is not the case, we could have a reversal back to the downside. So let's wait and see what is going to happen. We need to be very, very patient on price first. You understand? So that's that on wheat. Okay, let's see the other ones. Okay.
No. Yeah, 1 or 2.
Okay. Ekpensky, you're saying analysis on break successfully was not clear. Thank you. I don't understand what you mean by analysis on break successfully does not clear. We all know these zones. And it was pointed out clearly to us. If price should move above a particular section and closes above that section, it means price has broken that zone successfully. And Mr. Ekpemsky, I believe you know this. You know it very well. You're not a new trader. You understand? So you know when price breaks a zone and when it's a fake out. You understand? So when we talk about price breaking a zone, it means it moved above that particular section that has been having issues clearly. Just like we're seeing on this wheat now, currently, you can see that price has gotten to this point several times and it has gotten rejected, pushing it back to the downside. Now we're seeing price getting close to that point. If price is able to cross above this line successfully and closes above it, that means it has broken that point. And I believe you know that, Mr. Ekpemsky. Yes. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Okay, I'm with us, please. Stay with us. Okay, I'm trying to adjust my chart here. Please, let's hold on. Let's hold on, please. Stay with us. Having some new little minor glitch in network. So I'm trying to adjust the whole thing so we can get back together. Okay, so I'm still with us, please. Hello, hello. Okay. All right. So Daniel Legenti, I can see your question and I want to hear me clearly. Okay. So you said which account type is preferred, Naira or dollar, and why? Okay. One of the things you need to know is this, Daniel Legenti, the money is your own. So you determine which currency you want to use. If you want to fund in Naira, you fund in Naira. If you want to fund in dollars, you fund in dollars. And the funny truth is this, let me make you understand this. If you're trading in Naira and you trade and you make 10,000 Naira, that's the same amount you're going to make in dollars. Equivalent of it is what you're going to make in dollars. So the choice of Naira and dollars falls on you. Nobody's going to choose that for you. It's just your choice, you understand? So pick whichever instrument, whichever currency you want to use, and that it's okay for that, you understand? Okay, so Olufowokan and Bamishe, you're saying we should look at GBP, JPY, Euro, JPY. Okay, let's see what is happening on GBP, JPY, Euro, JPY. Let's see what is happening there. And with us. So based on what we are seeing now on GBP, JPY, we discovered that price has actually dropped on GBP, JPY here now, and is at a demand zone around this point. So we need to wait for it and see, is it going to break below it? Is it going to close below it, or is it going to reverse back to the upside? Now, that is what matters. If it's able to reverse back to the upside, it continues moving down, it will break below it, and that could be the main movement on that particular market, you understand? So let's wait and see, is it breaking below it? If it breaks below it, good and fine, then we'll go for our sell. But if that does not happen, we wait, okay? So let's look at the next instrument, which is Euro JPY. I'm with us on Euro JPY. Okay.
Sorry,
Anthony
sir.
Kyle,
Sorry,
yes.
sir. Please, sir, we can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen. Wow,
Yes,
that's
sir.
serious. Okay. Are you seeing it now, please?
Yes, sir.
Wow. I think it's due to the network glitch because from my own end here, it's showing that and you're able to see me. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's go back to the same.
Better now. Better now.
Let's go back to the same GBP JPY before we talk about Euro JPY. Okay. Let's go back to. Okay. So GBP JPY, just like I said, this point has been marked out as the support zone. You understand? So if the market price is able to break above, like break below it in continuation of that move, then we could have the markets selling. You understand? We have a continuation of a selling price. But if that does not happen, if it gets rejected around this point, then it could go back to the upside. You could see the market price moving back to the upside. You understand? So then we move to Euro JPY. Yes, like I said, Euro JPY. Let's move to Euro JPY. Let's see. On Euro JPY, based on what we're seeing now, let's go to the higher time frame and see. You see, based on what we're seeing on a higher time frame, you discover that price has actually been moving between these 2 points. This is on my daily time frame. This is 0.1 and this is 0.2. Let's put it this way. Yeah, to make it free, a little bit. This 0.1 and 0.2. So what is price going to do? Are we expecting price to break below it? And based on what we're seeing now, price is trying to get back up. So if price is going to move back up, let's wait for it to break above this particular section successfully. If it's able to break above this section successfully, then we could have price buying, you understand, to this particular point. But if that does not happen, we could have a reversal back to the downside. You understand? So that's that on Euro JPY. And as of now, we can see that it's just 8:09. So I'll be calling it a day with us. But first thing first, I want to apologize due to the network that glitched. I'm really, really sorry about that. But you see, there are times we have all these unforeseen circumstances that is way, way beyond our own strength. And it's as a result of the network's service provider. So sorry about that. Really sorry about that. So I'll use this opportunity now to acknowledge us again. You understand? So as it is now, thank you everybody for joining. See you same time next week. And kindly note that the market is closing by 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. But by 8, make sure you are out of this market. You understand? Thank you once again. Bye for now.
Yeah.